Hi, I'm Miss Alene, and I want to thank you guys for joining and tuning in to Kids Corner for Armstrong Cable, channels 20 and 100. And today we are at Hilltop Elementary with the kindergarten class, and it's all about leaves, autumn, and harvest. Does anybody know the other name for fall?
October.
That's when fall is. It's in there. That's one of the months of fall. How about you?
Autumn.
Autumn, exactly. That is the other name for fall. So we are going to talk today about autumn and what happens to the trees in autumn. How about you?
They turn different colors.
They do. The leaves turn different colors, don't they? And they fall off, which is probably where we got the name fall from, huh? So, does anybody else know what happens in autumn and fall? There's another time that we call this time. How about you?
It snows.
After fall, it usually snows, and sometimes it'll start to snow around fall.
It will get a little colder.
True, it will get a little colder. What happens when we plant things in the spring and then we wait till the fall?
They die.
Sometimes they do. How about you?
Sometimes they stay alive.
True, that's true. There is a name for this time of year. Go ahead.
You get to pick them.
You get to pick them. After you plant things in the spring and they grow during the summer, in the fall we call that harvest time. Anybody ever heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah, this is harvest time. And that means we go out and we gather all the plants before it gets cold and the plants start to die. So today we are going to talk about harvest, trees, and autumn. Everybody excited?
Yes.
Good. And we have two stories today. And those stories are going to talk a little bit about those things. And this story is called The Little Red Hen by Byron Barton. Have you? Good. Well then, you will know what's going to happen. And now today we can think about it in terms of harvest, trees, planting, and autumn. Once there were 4 friends, a pig, a duck, a cat, and a little red hen. The little red hen had 3 baby chicks. One day, the little red hen was pecking in the ground, and she found some seeds. She went to her 3 friends and asked, "Who will help me plant these seeds?" Have any of you guys ever helped your parents plant? Very cool. What did you guys plant?
I planted and helped my dad grow grass.
You planted grass? That's really, really helpful.
There was a spot where if it keeps sick and we started to put seeds in for. Now it's just the same how it was.
And I bet you helped make it real pretty, huh? How about you? What'd you help plant?
I don't remember.
Uh-oh, okay, but it's good that you helped plant. How about you over there in the corner?
Watermelon.
Watermelon? And I know you said you planted watermelon. How about you up here?
Oranges.
Oranges. How'd that turn out? Did you get to eat oranges? Very nice. Let's get 2 more people. How about you?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes? I planted tomatoes this year and we've got lots of tomatoes.
My grandma planted tomatoes.
Did she? Very nice. She went to her 3 friends and asked, "Who will help me plant these seeds?" "Not I," squealed the pig. "Not I," quacked the duck. "Not I," meowed the cat. Then I will plant the seeds, said the little red hen, and she did. And the seeds sprouted and grew into large stalks of wheat. Does anybody know what we make out of wheat?
Cheerios.
There is wheat in Cheerios. Very good. One more person and then I'll help out. How about you?
Bread.
Bread. That is exactly what I was thinking about. That's probably the main thing that most people usually think of when they think of wheat, is things like cereal that we make out of wheat and bread. And then we can make cake and all sorts of things that take the use of wheat grain. So, she grew stalks of wheat. Then the little red hen asked her 3 friends, who will help me cut these stalks of wheat? Not I, meowed the cat. Not I, squealed the pig. Not I, quacked the duck. They don't want to be very helpful, do they? Then I will cut the wheat, said the little red hen. And she did. Then the little red hen asked her friends, who will help me thresh this wheat? Not I, squealed the pig. Not I, quacked the duck. Not I, meowed the cat. Then I will thresh the wheat, said the little red hen. And when she grew the wheat and it turned into stalks, does that look like bread? No, that doesn't look like bread. We don't pull out stalks of wheat and put our sandwich on that, do we? So when you have wheat and you grow wheat, you have to do things to it to make it into flour that we use to make bread. And part of that process is called threshing the wheat, where you grind it up. And she did. So she took all the little grains and stuff and put it in a bag. Then the little red hen asked her friends, who will help me grind these grains of wheat into flour? Not I, squealed the pig. Not I, quacked the duck. Not I, meowed the cat. And they still don't want to help, do they?
No, not being really helpful.
They're not being really helpful. They're not being very nice either. Then I will grind the wheat into flour, said the little red hen. And she did. Then the little red hen asked her 3 friends, who will help me make this flour into bread? What do you think they said? Not I, meowed the cat. Not I, squealed the pig. Not I, quacked the duck. Then I will make the flour into bread, she said. And she did. Then the little red hen called to her friends, who will help me eat this bread? I will, quacked the duck. I will, meowed the cat. I will, squealed the pig. Now that's the fun part, isn't it? You think maybe that's why they now have not said not I, but I will? Yep, because that's the fun part. Everybody wants to eat. Yeah, they're hungry, but they didn't want to help. But now they want to eat the bread. Oh no, said the little red hen. We will eat the bread. And they did eat the bread. The little red hen and her 3 little chicks. And that is the end of the story. So sometimes we need to remember that even though it's not the fun part of doing something, we should help out, because when the fun part of doing something comes, we might miss out. Let's get 2 more people tell us something that you had to help out with and it wasn't very fun while you were helping, but at the end it was lots of fun. How about you?
I helped my dad cook popcorn.
Oh, very good. Yep, that's something good to help out with. How about you in the back?
Me and my mom went to Oklahoma and I wanted to go and stop for a tug and I didn't like doing that.
You said what?
I didn't like shopping for hotels.
Oh, you didn't like the shopping part. I understand. But isn't it fun when she goes shopping with you for stuff that you need? Yep. Okay, let's take just one more. How about you?
Tomatoes, but then I didn't like planting tomatoes, but then at the end I got to eat almost all of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's not fun sometimes to have to do the planting and taking care of them and watering the plants and all of those things that go into making sure that your plants grow up and they bear fruit. But when it comes at the end and you get your fruits and your veggies and your grains and all that good stuff and you get to make them into food, isn't that part fun? Yeah. All right, let's go to our next story. And this story is called A Grand Old Tree by Mary Newell Depalma. Once there was a grand old tree. Her roots sank deep into the earth. Her arms reached high into the sky. Does she really have arms? No, but we mean her branches, exactly. She was home to many creatures. Birds nested among her branches. Squirrels scurried through her leaves. Caterpillars and ladybugs crawled about. Any of you guys ever seen squirrels running up into trees? Me too.
I saw a squirrel run up the tree when I was waiting to go to school.
Do you like watching squirrels, you guys?
Yeah.
Me too. Let's continue with our story. The grand old tree flowered, bore fruit, and sowed seeds.
Planting.
That's right, sowing means planting, exactly. So this tree sowed seeds, and when trees bear fruit, they have seeds inside of them, just like oranges have seeds and apples have seeds. And when those seeds go back into the ground, they can make another tree. Everybody know that? She had many children, so those other trees that got planted because the seeds fell down were like the tree's children. They changed the landscape for miles around, perhaps even further than the grand old tree knew. Sometimes the wind in the autumn times can even carry those seeds to other places. So that's how come the tree had seeds and plants that became her children in far places. The grand old tree lived a long, long time. She basked in the sun, bathed in the rain, swayed in the breeze, and danced in the wind. She grew and shed, and to shed means that things fall off. So her leaves shed every year. Many millions of leaves. That's what she shed. At last, the grand old tree was very, very old. Her branches no longer swayed and danced, but cracked and snapped in the wind. Finally, she fell, and snow gently covered her. The grand old tree died. She no longer flowered, bore fruit, or sowed seeds. But she was still home to many creatures. Raccoons nested in her trunk, centipedes crawled along her branches, and lichen grew on her bark. Lichen is like the little stuff that you see growing on top, kind of like moss and things like that, that you see growing on top of the tree. Yeah?
It's like kind of like green stuff.
Something like that. The grand old tree slowly crumbled. She became part of the earth. Today, the roots of her grandchildren sink deep into this earth. Their arms reach high into the sky. They are home to many creatures, just like the grand old tree. The seeds that it let out are growing new trees, so it continues in the new trees, doesn't it?
So it has more babies and more?
Something like that, and then that tree will bear fruit and drop seeds, and that will grow more trees. So it just keeps going and going, doesn't it?
We have this bird, and it has a bird nest, and it's like as tall as me.
Wow.
A tree.
Okay.
Whenever the sun tries to see the plant, it just grows some more, and the leaves just start to fall off because the sun's not back.
Yep. And we can actually talk a little bit about that. Leaves need sunlight and water so that they can grow, don't they? Yep. All right, guys, is everybody ready to start our art project? Yeah, I think it's about that time. So today, what we're going to do is we are going to make autumn leaf murals. And somebody here earlier, when we were talking about what happens in autumn, told me that in autumn, all the leaves turn different colors, don't they? And here in Ohio, we see lots of different colors on the trees, don't we? Anybody know what colors we see?
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow are definitely two colors we see a lot of in the autumn time. Yes?
Yellow.
Yellow, yep.
Green.
Green, they are still green, some of them, yep. So they get mixed up in there with the reds and the yellows. And there's two more colors I can think of.
Orange.
Orange, that's right. There are a lot of orange leaves on trees. And some trees I've even seen turn completely orange, and they're really pretty, aren't they? Anybody ever seen a tree turn completely orange? Yeah, me too. Yes? And brown. They do turn brown. A lot of leaves turn brown in the autumn time. Has anybody ever seen red leaves on a tree? Yeah, me too. So I think we've pretty much covered all of our autumn colors: orange, red, brown, green, and yellow. Now, for those of you who would like to try this project at home, it's very simple. So we would take construction paper, regular old construction paper, multicolored, find the fall colors in the pack. You can stack the pages so that you don't have to cut one at a time. And you're going to start by just cutting down the middle, simple, easy cut. And then you'll take those and cut those down the middle as well. And what you'll end up with is a stack, kind of like this, of 4 different strips. That stack you can actually take and also cut down the middle. So we will cut down the middle, and it doesn't have to be exact. Once you have a rectangle or a square, you take one end of it and cut the sharp edge off. Once you cut the sharp end off, you will start by going a slight cut up and then round it out. Go around and just create your leaf pattern. And you've already got a point up here, so all you have to do is that. And then do the same thing on the other side, going the other direction. So up for your stem, and then around for your leaf. And as you can see, by stacking several of the pages together, we've cut more than one leaf at the same time. Then you'll take your leaf and start from the bottom and draw a line up. And you can either go off to the side or just continue up straight and start making a line from the side, then the other side, then the other side, the other side. And now you've got your easy leaves for your Easy Leaf Autumn mural. I'm Miss Alene, and I want to thank you guys for joining us at Hilltop Elementary with our kindergarten class for our Autumn Leaves and Harvest project. Make sure you guys join us next time on Armstrong channels 20 and 100.